Thank you for coming to Starbright Storytime. Today's book is The Art Lesson, a Shavuot story by Allison and Wayne Marks, illustrated by Annie Wilkinson. The Art Lesson, a Shavuot story. The Art Lesson, a Shavuot story by Allison and Wayne Marks, illustrated by Annie Wilkinson. Every Thursday after school, Shoshana rushed home and slipped on her art smock. Drips of dried blue and silver paint ran down its sleeves. Splotches of pink and purple exploded like fireworks across the front. Bits of clay, gold glitter, sequins, flecks of crushed crayons, and streaks of ink covered it from top to bottom. Shoshana loved her smock. Each splatter, smudge, and stain reminded her of art projects she made in Grandma Jacobs's art studio. A miniature sukkah made of toothpicks, a lopsided dreidel that always landed on Gimel, a Purim grogger. She wondered exactly what new memory she would add today. As Shoshana put on her black beret, she heard 3 beeps from a car horn. "Grandma Jay's here!" Shoshana cried. She grabbed her box of art supplies and ran outside. Grandma Jacobs opened the passenger door. "Is my little Chagall ready to be creative today?" "You bet," Shoshana said. "Outstanding! Let's go make something beautiful." For Shoshana, Grandma Jay's art studio was like an enchanted forest. Bold masks dotted the walls, mobiles of birds and bats, balloons and butterflies dangled from the ceiling. Painted vines covered the wooden floor. Paintbrushes sprouted like weeds from glass jars. Every corner was filled with easels, canvases, tubes of oil paint, and pads of paper as big as Shoshana. Near the patio door stood a large cabinet with 100 small drawers, 10 rows up and 10 rows across. Before each art lesson, Grandma Jay let Shoshana open one drawer to see what treasure lay inside. Shoshana had already opened nearly every drawer, discovering coins, buttons, vials of sand, skeleton keys, plastic dinosaurs, hair ribbons, postage stamps, pine cones, seashells, and beads of all sorts. "See that drawer at the very top right?" Grandma Jacobs asked. "Go ahead and see what's inside. You'll need to use the step stool." Inside the drawer were square sheets of paper. Shoshana held one up and examined it. "What's so special about this?" she asked. "Come, my little artist," Grandma Jay said. "Sit with me on the sofa and let me show you." Grandma Jay folded one of the sheets into a small square. "This is something my bubby taught me how to do when I was a little girl." With a pencil, Grandma Jay drew shapes along each edge of the folded paper. Next, she cut out each shape with a pair of scissors. Flakes of paper fluttered to the floor, frosting Shoshana's shoes like snow. Grandma Jay made a final cut and opened the folded paper. Shoshana let out a gasp of delight. "It's beautiful!" she exclaimed. The plain paper had changed into a Star of David surrounded by birds. "Thank you, my little Modigliani," Grandma Jacobs said. "When I was growing up, families on our street would hang paper cuts like these in our windows to decorate for Shavuot." Grandma J carefully lifted 3 paper cuts from a wooden chest. Shoshana's eyes widened. On Shavuot, we celebrate the spring harvest. This one shows God's gift of the Torah. Some people stay up all night studying Torah on the night of Shavuot. This paper cut is for you, Shoshana. Your name means rose in Hebrew. I love it, Shoshana said. I want to make a bouquet of roses too. And for the rest of the afternoon, that's what Shoshana tried to do. Snippets of paper flew everywhere, landing in her hair, filling the pocket of her smock, and covering Krasner, her grandmother's calico cat. But no matter how many times Shoshana folded and snipped, traced and trimmed, she didn't see roses when she opened up her creations. All she saw were papers filled with holes. Grandma J saw Shoshana set down her scissors and cross her arms in frustration. May I see what you've done? She gathered Shoshana's cutouts and taped them to the patio door. The late afternoon sun shined through. Oh, my little Pissarro, Grandma J said. These are fabulous. Grandma J pointed to a paper cut. What do you see when you look at this one? She asked. Shoshana frowned and shrugged. It reminds me of a time we saw a flock of geese flying over the lake, her grandmother said. Shoshana looked closer. A hint of a smile appeared on her face. This time she pointed to one of the paper cuts. Here's a honeycomb filled with bees. Yes, I see it too, Grandma J exclaimed, giving Shoshana a high five. Suddenly, Shoshana could see pirate ships, fields of flowers, schools of fish, and hot air balloons. Grandma J bent down and gently cupped Shoshana's chin. See? Every paper cut is different. Every paper cut is special, just like you. At home, Shoshana taped her paper cuts to her bedroom windows to decorate for Shavuot. She hung up her smock and smiled. Many, many Shavuot holidays passed, and Shoshana became a grandmother herself. Every Thursday after school, her granddaughter Hannah came to her studio, wearing a smock and a beret, ready for an art lesson. Grandma S., which drawer should I open this time? Hannah asked as she stood before the large cabinet. Try the one at the very top right, Shoshana replied. Hannah climbed the step stool and opened the drawer, pulling out square sheets of paper. I've been saving those for a special art lesson, Shoshana said. Come, my little Chagall, sit with me on the sofa and let me show you. Here is a note about Shavuot and paper cuts, as well as a lesson on how to make a Star of David paper cut. With a parent, guardian, or family member, you can make a paper cut at home using these instructions. Here we have information about different artists that were mentioned in the storybook. Marc Chagall, Amedeo Modigliani, Lee Krasner, that was the name of the calico cat, and Camille Pissarro. This has been The Art Lesson, a Shavuot story by Allison and Wayne Marks, illustrated by Annie Wilkinson. Text copyright 2017 by Allison and Wayne Marks. Illustrations copyright 2017 by Lerner Publishing Group, Inc. Published by Carben Publishing, a division of Lerner Publishing Group, Inc., Minneapolis, Minnesota. Thank you for coming to Starbright Storytime.